Hello everyone, beautiful day, Muhammad Ali from Freetown, Sierra Leone. It's a beautiful day, Friday, 21st December 2023. I just want to say Merry Christmas to all our fans and followers of We for Africa, wherever you are, to all our administration, ambassadors, our representatives in every country. Of course, today we take it to Kenya, Nairobi, where we are going to introduce one of our institutes called UJAMII. One of our ambassadors is the leading, the brain behind this particular institution to build in Kenya. This institution is a Pan-African institute, school, university, whatever, right? It's an educational sector where the youths are trying to put something in place, to change the narrative, to change the educational sector. Right, so today we are going to take it to Kenya with one of our ambassadors who intended to build an institute named UJAMII Institute, right? She's from Nairobi, Kenya. She has been with We for Africa for a while. She will be here with us as soon as possible. So guys, like I was saying, Muhammad Ali from Freetown, Sierra Leone, the CEO and the founder of We for Africa. Right, Africa, the destiny of all black people. So we have to stand for our continent. We have been seeing it's been a backlash, right? Our education sector is being controlled by outsiders. Now we are going to control our education sector by ourselves. So guys, join us as I'm going to invite her right now once and for all. She's going to join us here for Africa. Please guys, join us as we right. I have with us Rahab. Introduce yourself, please, to the public. Thank you.
Hi, hello. My name is Kamoda Rahab. I am the founder of UJAMII Institute. UJAMII Institute is a Pan-African-led institute that teaches courses in African languages for now, but we also intend on introducing other courses. The reason we are having a Pan-African-led institute is, as you said, I joined while you were saying that it's important for us to take control of our educational sector, because education shapes who we are as a people. It shapes our perspective, and it is very important that we take control of our education sector. I'm very excited to be here. Long time. It's a long time. And yeah, let's start. I think I'm ready.
Okay. Thank you very much, Rahab. Thank you very much for being here. It's a long-awaited day for you to be here with us, and long time you've not been here for a while. Thank you very much. This is a very very big move. I really appreciate this of your move because like I was saying, the education sector was controlled by the outsiders, right? We learn another languages, another histories of other nations, right? Other continents. There will be a change, but we are the only ones in the ground that can make this change. Not the diaspora, Africans in the diaspora, or the ones who was born here and left and go to the overseas. We, the people in the ground, we are the ones to change the narrative, right? And this is absolutely what we are doing right now. We are doing really absolutely job. And for the first question, we are going to ask you here about this particular institute because we want each and every African to know and hear about this particular conversation, for them to learn and start picking ideas, saying that this time around, we have to build our own institute and change the narrative, right? Firstly, UJAMII, right? Okay, how it was founded, right? Because UJAMII, we don't know what is the meaning of UJAMII, what is it? This is in Swahili or another languages. But the first question here is how it all started, how it was founded, and what's the name UJAMII mean to the public? Thank you.
So, first of all, the name UJAMII is a Kiswahili word, as you said. UJAMII is derived from the word jamii. Jamii in Kiswahili means community. So UJAMII means socialism. So as a community. So the reason why UJAMII was founded, actually UJAMII is not a new concept. I was doing the concept of teaching the African culture and African languages before, but I was doing it under the name Bethany Online School, which you may remember.
Yeah, I remember well.
As we progressed, there came a need for us to come up with a brand that represented the African people, to use names to be well recognized by the African people, to have a brand that well represents the African people. And when we were thinking of the name, we wanted it to signify what we are, our support of Pan-Africanism, our belief of Pan-Africanism. So there couldn't be a better name for us than UJAMII, because that is what we are trying to promote, socialism in our community. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. That's a very big, you know, idea behind it, because you know something like we as an Africans, when we go to the overseas, every name is derived from their school's name, like is derived from their own historic name or their own ancestors or heroes. They give these schools, like for here in Sierra Leone, we have you know, the Prince of Wales, we are grammar schools. These are all names that are being introduced by the West, right? So,
Yeah.
but you here giving an African name for like an for somebody who is from overseas coming here first. If he heard about UJAMII, he firstly want to ask what the meaning of UJAMII. So by him knowing what is UJAMII, he already know the word. He already part of the language. What we speak in, are you understanding? He
Yeah.
already been part of the language, because yes, sure, language is a very important aspect in every society, right?
Mm.
Language, because you know what the white people always like. You know, when we all everyone in Africa speak English, they feel comfortable, because when they come, you know, they feel superior because they own language. So how we ourselves can able to introduce that, you know, like to introduce our own language that everybody can speak. Whenever you come from everywhere, when you come first, you have to understand the language, from the drives, the streets, our towns, our names have to be indigenous names. So when you come first, you will fully understand where you are and what the meaning of this particular place, right? The history of this place, because like when we say like Kenya, Jomo Kenyatta Street, when you come, when you heard about Jomo Kenyatta, firstly you would ask, who is Jomo Kenyatta? By the time you know who is Jomo Kenyatta, you already know the history of the country. Are you understand?
Yeah.
It's a very important, yeah, sure. So as we take it to the second question, what are the reasons why it's founded? I mean, do you see any gap, right, that's missing in the educational sector in Africa, that you think, you know, you already introduced this institute in order to fill that particular gap? Like as we speaking, you know, like learning everything about the West and other countries, like, you know, without learning our own very self.
You see, the thing is with our educational sectors, and I speak for Kenya, but I may also speak for other African countries. You find that there is this proverb that goes that if you don't tell your story, then the side of the oppressor will forever be the side that is
Yeah,
known.
sure.
So, our culture, our heritage, our languages are usually presented in a way that is very primitive, or they put it to be very primitive. So, and even when you hear people talking about Africa, talking about us, even us ourselves, when we talk about ourselves, we are forever talking about, when we describe ourselves, we describe a very weak people, a people with no identity. Our own identity, we find it as to be something that is repulsive. We talk about it badly. But now I decided for it to be Pan-African led and to center around teaching about the African heritage, because I
Okay.
realized for us to be the development that we keep talking about, for us to be what we want to be, we have to invest in knowledge. We have
Okay.
to be knowledgeable in areas that impact
Okay.
who we are, and in
Yeah.
areas that impact in we have to be knowledgeable in areas that impact the decisions we make for our countries and our continent. So that is why I decided African languages and the African heritage. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. This is all I have. Like I told you, I've already wrote the Afrocentric school curriculum. I'm intended to apply this year in Sierra Leone also. We're already working it, just like to implement it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, it has to be, and it's so it must be. For like here in Sierra Leone, and we are coming to that. Let me go to the next question. So we're gonna end up on discussion, so people can understand everything. So, but what we'll go to, you know, like everything about the school first, then we go forward. Right? The importance of the Pan-African-led institution. Now you said it is a Pan-African. What are some of the Africanness in this particular institution? What are some of the Africanness, like language, accent, like what are the Africanness in this particular institution?
So the Pan-Africanness in this particular institution is one. First of all, we are starting with courses on African languages. So we are teaching people African languages. We first started with Swahili, but we're looking forward to opening up to other African languages. We have a blog called The Culture Quest. On this blog,
Okay.
The Culture Quest, on our website, we are going to teach people about African languages from, not African languages, African culture, from art to cultures to traditions to things like that. And we also intend on being very active on social media in doing in doing the same. We also, in other courses that we intend to introduce, we also want to put a Pan-African look on it by including teachings on the African culture. Like if you're taking a course, you also have to take a particular class that teaches about the African culture so that you're well versed. We'd also like to we want to hold more talks like these ones that we are doing with you, where we can tell people the importance of Pan-Africanism, the importance of loving our identity. Yes, so that is the Pan-Africanness in our institution. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, Rahab. To all our listeners, even though we don't have so much followers, but they will join later. And when we post, we share so people can watch it more and get it. Because, you know, the reason behind this all because we are undergoing a restriction that have been affecting us about 7 months back, right? So, but we are trying to you know, to be unrestricted this time around. So as we go to the next question, what you think will be so unique about this school? Because these ideas are to be implemented all over Africa. These ideas, it's not just me, of like we brought this idea, like it has been there, but somebody to implement this, right? We have been like one Africa, one borderless Africa. We have one currency, but it's never been implemented. And this is a basement, the educational sector. We are the youth supposed to making this change, right? They're supposed to learn it since grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, grade 4, right? So when they understand, by then implementing, it's going to be very easy, right? So the question here is, what do you think will be so unique in this particular institution, right? Because the ideas are to be implemented all over Africa. They increase self consciousness. So what are the uniqueness of this particular institution?
So the uniqueness of this particular institution is, first of all, no cultures, no African cultures will be taught in a primitive manner or will be put in a way that suggests that one culture is greater than the other. We are going to teach the cultures, the heritage fairly, openly. We're also going to be teaching about things that we don't normally see, like in the media or taught about Africa, like our ancient development, like
Okay.
great cities like Axum. We don't hear about such great cities when we are hearing about the African
Yeah.
culture. We
Yeah,
don't
sure.
hear about great leaders. We don't see the highlighting of Africa in a positive light, and what we hope to do at UJAMII Institute. We hope that everyone who comes through UJAMII Institute lives with an empowered spirit. If you came proud, not proud to be African, we want you to live being proud being African. And we are going to add that personal touch through education, which is something I am also very passionate about. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, Rahab. Thank you very much. It's very, you know, understandable, right? Rahab, and you know, right now, in this particular institution, right now, how the world is going, it is not like the other 20th or the 19th century. This is where you can, when you lead in science and technology, you lead the world. Are you understanding? So, what are some of the measures that have been put in place in order to, you know, to put this institution in a way like in a scientifically, or you know, as you know, like technologically inclined with the modern world today? Because you know, like our institution in Africa, we have to learn technology. What are some of the things you have been put in place in this particular institution that the children can start learning technology since the basement? You know, because like in the world right now, we are learning digital world. We are in the digital world, right? So even us teaching ourselves, you know, tradition, and you know, it's very important, the fundamental basement. But the kids supposed to learn technology since basement, since grade 1, grade 2, grade 3 onwards, right? Because this is talk of the world right now, technology. Because if you don't adapt to technology right now, you cannot able to focus the world. You cannot able to compete in the near future. So what are some of the measures you have already put in place in this particular institution that can, you know, to give the kids what they need in terms of technology?
First, thank you for that question. First of all, UJAMII Institute for now is based online, first of all. So we are already using technology in our day-to-day activities. And apart from the African languages, since our school is an institute, we will be targeting institutions of higher learning. rather people who have finished their high schools. I don't know if it's the same for your country, high schools, then university, right?
Yeah, sure.
So the people we'll be targeting are mainly people who are in universities, and we'll be targeting them with courses that are in the current, that go with the current timing of things. So things like technology have to be taught.
Okay.
Things like
Okay.
maybe coding, graphic design, technological courses have to be taught. The only thing that will be different is simply how it is taught. It will be taught, you'll be taught technology, but you'll just be learning it in a Pan-African-led institute. Nothing will be different in terms of courses. The courses will be courses that are in time, are in line with what is going on currently with things like technology, climate change, but you will just be learning it from a Pan-African point of view. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Another question here is, Rahab, like, is very important. Whatever we have to do right now as an African institution, in any aspect of education in Africa right now, we have to be in line with technology. This is what is particularly disturbing Africans. We are way behind in terms of technology, right? Because what we see right now, we don't have a space shooter. We don't have, like, this all modernized modernized and sophisticated tools that other countries are inventing. Because when we are using somebody invention from somebody, when they invent something and send it to Africa, so this is the way they can able to spy us, right? So we have to start creating our own. We are the highest IQ in the world. The African child has the most IQ. I mean, the most powerful IQ. The most sensitive human ever lived is the black, right? It's just that we don't have the platforms. And this is the time we have to create the platform. For whatever we are doing, whatever implementation we have to do in terms of education, we have to put our culture and the and technology first.
Mm.
Are you understanding?
Right.
So this is a very important figure. This is a very important aspect. So we have to more focus on our technological in line with today affairs of the world. Are you understanding? So the next question here is, who are you targeted? Like, is this institution, let me start from here. Is this institution a partnership, or just you, or a government assisted, or like it's just a private or public institution?
UJAMII Institute is a private institution. I work with a
Okay.
team. I think we can't, this is not something I can do alone. I work with a team. So UJAMII is private owned. Our target audience for now, because we are having phased openings. So the first phased opening is simply where we are teaching African languages. So for now, our target audience is simply anyone looking to learn Swahili for now. However, in the new year, we will introduce new courses, which we will give to the people. And the courses now that we want to introduce after the introduction of African language is skill-based courses. Skill-based courses are things like digital marketing, graphic design, technological courses. Because right now it is the one place that people can actually monetize and make a living out of, especially young people. And also, I forgot to add that, but I think I had you mention it, that UJAMII Institute is actually youth invented and youth led. It is led by the youth. So it is specially made to cater to the needs of the youth. So our courses, our way of handling our students will be able to cater to the African youth and any other youth who is interested. But for right now, it is anyone who wants to learn an African language, Swahili for now. But when we open other courses, there shall be skill-based courses that we shall be teaching.
I got you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Very wonderful answer. So you already talked. You are targeting, like, as an online. You are targeting youth. So there is no kindergarten, no nursery, no primary, no junior secondary school, no high school, right? It's just the university student. Or
Yes. UJAMII Institute is an institution of higher learning. Yeah, it's like a tertiary institution. Yeah.
okay. Thank you very much. Rahab, the last one. I think the last one here is there any intention, like, to establish or to have a basement, or like, you are in Kenya, maybe you have somebody who is in Uganda, you want to work with, you want to expand this particular institution, like, for a different countries, because you already know the techniques and know right? How to operate this. So it is an online. So somebody who is out, like from Uganda, Rwanda, who is very interested to have this particular institution in their countries, right? To work with you or to partner with you, to make to popularize it, like to make it in everywhere. Like as we for Africa having like different ambassadors, whatever we want to implement, we tax anyone who is in that country to run our affairs. Do you have any intention to do the same?
Yes, we do have the intention of doing that. In the spirit of Pan-Africanism, we are not closing UJAMII Institute to only Kenya. For example, if we want to teach a language like, for example, Shona, it wouldn't be right for us to find a Kenyan to teach Shona. We would have to find a Zimbabwean or a South African to teach us Shona. So for other languages, we would also really love to be able to create employment to people all over Africa. So like if you are somewhere in anywhere in Africa, especially in Africa, and you feel like you can offer something in terms of teaching services, maybe in a certain language, and it can be a fruitful partnership. You can reach out and we can work something out and we can work together. And I will really be excited for that because the aim at the end of the day is Pan-Africanism to promote community all over Africa. Yeah.
Okay. So Rahab, almost the last one, let me say, and this is just again just a brief conversation because we already done with the questionnaire and everything. Thank you very much. What's some of the messages to like the diaspora who is eager to learn particularly like Swahili, because the number one language that people eager to learn about Africa is the Kiswahili. Even though the most popular language is Arabic, but everybody know Arabic is a foreign language too. So the language in the ground for here in Africa is Kiswahili. So what are some of your your thoughts or some of your advices for whosoever, or like what are some of your takes for whosoever want to learn Kiswahili and other Shona that is very simple, that they can stay where they are in the overseas, because after this we're going to save this and share it everywhere so people can listen to this conversation. And many Africans in America, Africans in the diaspora like Jamaica, Caribbean, America, Australia, Canada, maybe they want to learn this particular, even though like you cannot say you can learn the language 100% because you are not in the ground, because it's not very easy for you to learn a language you are not in the ground. You can able to learn it maybe in the computer or Google, but it is more better if you are in the ground. You can able to interact with people who speak it particularly, but they want to know like the fundamental of these particular languages. So what are your thoughts to this diaspora? How they can access you, for them to be part of this particular language learning process?
All right. So first of all, I would like to start by telling them something we tell all our students. Kiswahili is one of the easiest African languages to learn. It is very, very,
Okay.
very easy to learn, and it carries such a rich culture because it is not only spoken in one country, it's spoken in multiple countries. So with it, you learn the culture of so many countries. So you find it has a lot of knowledge. Also, if you want to learn Swahili, especially with us, you don't have to worry about not practicing your Swahili because we do offer a community to practice Swahili with. So if you're learning Swahili and you don't have anyone to speak Swahili with, we are offering you a community. You come, we speak Swahili there, we practice, and we continue. So don't feel like it is a hard language to learn. I would encourage you to actually learn it. I think there's so much satisfaction in learning a new language. It expands your knowledge, it opens up your brain to new possibilities, new things, and I will be really, really excited to host anyone to see. We are even willing to give a free trial class to a group of people who want to learn Swahili so that they come, they see the experience, they see the culture, and they decide if they want to learn it, which I am not so sure. I don't say very sure that I am sure, but I am sure it is a language you would really, really like to learn. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Rahab, just tell us about this, the location of this particular institution in Kenya.
The location of this particular institution, upon the opening of a physical location, it will be located in Nakuru, Kenya. I don't know, Nakuru, it's not the capital city, but it is a city in Nakuru. We chose Nakuru because Nakuru is one of the fastest growing cities in Kenya, and we wanted that as the city grows, we grow with it. So yeah, that is
Wow,
our look.
thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's a very important, right? And Rahab, there is a particular word that is circulating right now in the African youth. Where they say, education is a scam. I have encountered more than thousands of videos of watching this. Like, I feel piece of where Africans themselves, saying education is a scam.
Mhm.
Are you understanding? Like, what they think here is what comes to their mind here is people that went to the university and graduate, they sit down without having a job. While the ones that didn't go to university, they are able to acquire jobs. Right? What's your take on this? Because I will lament more on this, but I just want to have a brief on this. Like,
All right. First of all, education will never be useless. Education, you see how they say education is the key to success. Education is the key to success. For example, if you don't go to school and you don't learn mathematics and you come outside here and you start a business, how will you do mathematics for your business? How will you manage your finances? If you don't want, if you, for example, you're running We for Africa, if you can't communicate with people, if you don't go to school, how will you learn how to communicate with people? If you
no
want
way.
to do something in technology, how will you know if you do not learn? Education is very important. It will never stop being important. There's never a day that that degree will never not be a degree. It will forever be a degree. And the thing is, I think what is disturbing us is, of course, there's the big issue of unemployment. However, I think it is about time the youth really time. What is different is making jobs and creating employment. During our current times, people used to come out of university and immediately get employment. But we have to know this is during the time when most countries were getting independence, and this is during the time where they actually needed actively a workforce. Right now, what you do is make sure you get education in an area that you are passionate about. So if you are passionate about technology, do something in technology. And then once you do something in technology, find a way to make it work for you. Right now, what is working is small and medium enterprises. It doesn't mean education will never not be important, because even if we say the ones that are not going to schools are the ones making jobs, you can't tell me those people didn't go to school. They went to school. They have certificates. They have invested in skills on YouTube. They have taught themselves. So let's not say that education is useless. It can never be. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Like what thank you for that particular brilliant point of view, right? And what the youth of Africa are failing to understand that, or when it comes to wealth creation, comes to wealth creation, if you are destined to be wealthy, no matter whether you learn or you don't learn, you will be wealthy. The difference is here is one wealthy man cannot able to feed a whole nation, but one educated, successful educator can able to entitle the whole of a generation. Right? Yes, the one philosopher said that from, I think he's a Chinese. He said, when you have a plan for a year, plant rice. When you have a plan for 10 years, plant a tree. When you have a plan for 100 years, educate. Are you understanding? So when you look at like Switzerland is a country that don't have any resources. Likewise, Singapore. What they do, they invest on the human capital development. We are able to provide skillful people, like educated people, because a country cannot be developed while their citizens is 40% educated, just 40% or 30%. You cannot be developed because at the end of the day, the people that think doing this generation is a citizens themselves. Are you understanding? So you can if you have 100 people that is not skilled and you have just individual skill, is better than all these 100 people. That's what we are seeing right now. In Nigeria, have 200 plus million people, right? And the living standard is very somehow, let me say, zero than compared to other countries that are very little, like Singapore, with no resources, that living standard, high standard of life, and they have more economy than these Nigerians, with all the resources that Nigeria have. because they are not skillful enough, to able to work on their resources. Only somebody who will come to to able to work on their resources. So I'm advising all these young Africans to stop misleading the people. Like, if you are, yes, sure, if you are destined to be wealthy, you can be wealthy. You can do something that you can have increase the wealth on it. But do not tell the African, like, saying education is a scam. Degree is a scam. Look at the richest people; they don't educate, but they are wealthy. It doesn't mean. It doesn't mean. So this has like, very pisses me off all the time when I watch these videos. People like discouraging people to go to university. Very discouraging. If you cannot go to university, you're not able to be an entrepreneur. You cannot be able to innovate. You can just able to do something like, you can able to be rich, but if you don't educate, like, you cannot be in that particular level that you think you're supposed to be.
Not only that, even those rich people that you're claiming have gone far without money, they are hiring people who have gone to school.
Workers. These are the workers that make them where they are.
Exactly. Those are the people that are putting them where they are. If you're saying, oh, don't go to school, even those people, when they're running those successful businesses, the people who are keeping those businesses alive are people in school, people who went to school. And when you want something to happen for you, for example, you want to become wealthy, as you've said, you cannot play the victim and say its education is useless. How do you know? The people that we see in magazines, Forbes, the people that we see are successful, they are educated. It doesn't matter if it is the degree, as I said. Once you look, when you talk to any person, even that one that you're saying that didn't do a degree, they will tell you they had to go on YouTube and learn a certain skill. They had to get someone who knows a certain skill to teach them. Education, you will never say that you can't learn. Even if you say you won't do that degree, you will end up doing like 5 certificates that are unequal to that degree to achieve that one dream you have. So
yes, sure.
You can't say that we can't go to school. People should go to school, because even we can't have important conversations with people who haven't gone to school. How are we supposed to shape a nation?
Never.
Shape a nation
That's a very problem. Like, the people, the oppressors are very enjoying this particular conversation, because they know as soon as we said that education is a scam, they'll be very happy. They'll know that this is a very time they wanted, like, to Africans to feel like, there's not supposed to educate, because if you don't educate, you cannot able to manage your resources. If you don't educate, you cannot be administrator. If you don't educate, you cannot be able to be power conscious, because education is self-consciousness. If me having a master's or doctorate, who can able to persuade me? No one. I already know my value. Like, as we are speaking right now, we already know our value. We already know what we want, what we stand for, and we can able to project the future, right? We can able to know, like, when we do something here and we do it this way, we can able to achieve this in the near future. But if you are not educated, what you see is just like what is in front of you. You can see, you can able to see, and tells about the issue. So let me say the final one. Just give a brief, end point for this conversation to the people, to the school, to the Africans, to everything, like, you feel like saying to the general public.
All right. To the general public, I thank you for this opportunity, first of all, Mohammed, to let me talk about UJAMII. UJAMII has been a product of hard work and a lot of passion. And I hope everyone loves it as much as I do. I hope it creates the impact that I would love for it to create. And you can follow us on UJAMII Institute across all social media platforms, and you can reach out to us on those social media platforms, and you can see our website, UJAMII Institute, on Google, and we would love to hear your feedback. That's it. Yeah.
Okay, Rahab, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So you can say goodbye for another time. Thank you very much for being here with me.
Okay. Thank you too for having me. So goodbye.
Yeah, thank you very much, Rahab. Goodbye. Thank you.